let's say some other medium comes along for you to be able to uh, reproduce your said memory, video, whatever it is that you wanted to reproduce. Like, what I mean is, let's say you've backed it up electronically, you've archived it electronically, and they them and make them digital documents. These pictures in here, why am I doing this? It's for the archive. Remember, we've been archiving this entire time so that we could go back and reproduce. Archiving allows us to reproduce, and I'm gonna write that down on my blank side of my paper right here. Archive equals reproduction. Let's say some other medium comes along for you to be able to reproduce your said memory, video, whatever it is that you wanted to reproduce. Like, what I mean is, let's say you've backed it up electronically, you've archived it electronically, and they bring back out the CDR. Well, the CDR is still out there. You want to reproduce it onto a CDR. You want to take all those physical. So your archive right now. Let me stop. I'm sorry to get on this tangent, but your archive right now is physical. All right. And you want to be able to reproduce that physical archive. Well, turn that physical archive, you want to be able to turn that physical, this line going straight down is killing me. You want to be able to turn that physical archive into an electronic / digital, so that in the future or at any time you can reproduce it. Okay? So reproduction can come in any form. It could be you put them physical pictures on CDs. You can put those physical pictures onto cassettes. I don't know how you would do. Well, yes, I do. You could put them onto cassettes. You could put those physical pictures onto flash drives, etc. So it allows you to reproduce. You can put them in the cloud. It allows you archiving it electronically, taking it from, you have a physical photo album, and you take it and transfer it and make it an electronic / digital photo album, and you could always reproduce that reproduce that digital back into your physical every single time, which would be maybe on the CDs. You could go down with your electronic hard drives or your electronic archive that is on your CDs and print out some more physical pictures and put them in frames. I hope I've explained that well. So back to what we were saying on the first initial. I'm gonna keep this over here. Y'all take a picture of that. There you go, there you go, there you go. All right, so now in these videos, you won't necessarily see and chopped up into clips or shorts or nothing like that. This is subscriber only information sometimes. But so now your tools, as I was writing back in there, is gonna be computer hard drive, computer, what did I say? Computer, the hard drives, oh, and your scanner. Now we're gonna use the scanner and say that could be, I'm just talking, I can't because I don't have enough space to write it in there. We're gonna say your scanner right now is gonna come in different forms. You're gonna have it in different forms, and I will get into that when I start breaking down the steps to this thing here in a couple seconds. But that right there is your tools. Your scanner will come in different forms, but your computer and your hard drive will be the same. Now what we are doing is we are changing the archive, physical, all right, am I writing the R? Physical to electronic, which we know that the electronic medium is gonna still be some form of physical. It's gonna still be some form of a physical device, whether it be like your hard drive or your CD, but it's no longer inside that photo album. Okay, now let's get into this. I want us to go and hop over to a quick video on the current way that you can do this, because I don't want to give you the old school way for you to do this. I don't want to sit here and talk you through the old school way to do the scanning and sitting down and you gotta do. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch a video and see if they have a way for us to incorporate the current technology that we use, hence all of the scanning technology that you have built into your phone, all of the AI technology that you have, that you could just put your phone over a QR code and just, we're gonna see how high quality our phones and our tech is right now to be able to transfer our old photo albums into digital albums quickly and effectively. All right, effective way to create digital photo album from old photos. There you go. Let's see what they got. Now this is gonna be good. Let's see what she got, because she might have the same way that I was gonna say.
Digitizing photo albums was not on my radar until this summer, when forest fires got so close to my home that the air outside
4 years ago
was difficult to breathe because of the smoke. Charlie and I decided to get ready before we got a notice to evacuate. And guess what was number one on my list? My photos, even though a lot of them were already digitized. But then I saw the row of big, heavy Creative Memories photo albums on the shelf and realized none of them were digitized. I'm Linda Satgaz with FamilyHistoryHero.com, and I'm going to share 5 ways to digitize your old photo albums.
Don't y'all just love Expansion Pack? Don't y'all just love Expansion Pack? See, she did the work already, and we're gonna watch it here, and then we're gonna go over the benefits of doing this.
After After the organ fires died down, and thankfully we never did have to leave, I was fired up, no pun intended, to get my photo albums digitized. I started with a set of 3 12 by 12 inch photo
Great
albums
script.
about a trip our family took around the USA back in the 90s. Here are the 5 methods I explored to digitize them, the advantages and disadvantage of each one, and the method I chose to digitize my albums. Solution number 1 is to hire a local or online company to scan the pages. On the positive side, a professional does the work for you, which saves you a ton of time and you actually get it done. On the negative side, you have to send your albums
Right.
away, and it can be expensive if you have a lot of photo albums.
Yeah, ain't nobody
It'll
trying
cost
to do
somewhere
that.
between $1 and $2 per page. But if you'd rather let someone else do it and the cost isn't a problem, this could be a good solution for you.
Pause. 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 So, with this, I want y'all to know, and I hope y'all hearing me, you could build a whole company off of having storage alone and being storage space and being willing to do the time and legwork to scan someone else's old memories and make an archive for them. Wink, wink. Obviously, there's value there, is what I'm saying. Welcome to another episode of Expansion Pack. I'm your host, Dan F. Man. It's good to be up in cheer again. What, you fellas and you ladies? I don't know where that came from, but hey, it's good to be in here with y'all again today. We gonna get this thing rolling on Find Your Way Wednesday. I'm just trying to get the computer up on the screen for y'all. Say it with me now. For y'all. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and get y'all motivation on the screen for today. Today, what is the topic for today? What I sent out for y'all on that notification. Let me see. Harnessing awareness. We gonna scrattle that thing on up, gonna put it all on there together, and we're gonna harness us some awareness. Your energy goes where your focus flows. I said it backwards. All right, here we go. I'm gonna try it again. Here we go. Your energy flows where your focus goes. All right, let's go. Let's get the motivation. We are not watching the Chronicles of Riddick. We getting the motivation from women. Let's get it. Let's type that in instead of what we've been typing in. Let me see. I usually type in for women. You type in from a woman. Motivation from a woman. For women. Come on, y'all. Let's see. I want to get one we ain't seen yet. Consistency, how to enter this big girl. What y'all want me to do? Let's go.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete AI creation platform.
Hold on, y'all. Let me plug this
Describe what you want.
audio up for y'all too. I was doing some work on my computer. Builder.
You can plan, customize,
All right, there we go.
expand.
And prioritizing the task at hand is sadly not enough. I think we can all feel that with the numerous videos and talks about ways to build consistency in our lives by setting clear goals, creating a routine, and prioritizing the task at hand is sadly not enough. I think the raw and honest truth is that if you've heard the same things numerous times and it still hasn't sprung you into action consistently, There just may be a blockage within the mind that is keeping you from walking and talking in the version of yourself that is consistent. When you have all of the steps laid out in front of you, all of the confirmation to move forward, and you still aren't stepping, that just lets me know that all you need now is the willpower to do so. And that's why I'm here. Hopefully in this episode, I will spark a flame in you again, just to get you over the hump of falling off of your consistency, so that you can look back a year from now after pursuing your dreams and say, damn, I was standing in my way the whole time.
Hey, that's
Because
right.
yes,
That's my girl.
yes, you were. Welcome to the Raw and a Half podcast, where we get real and then some. I am your host, Jasmine Siri, and every week I speak on
Jasmine.
different topics that align with reprogramming the subconscious mind. I share my experiences and discuss how I navigate
your
life
ad on, girl.
consciously, so we can reach higher heights and deeper dimensions of the mind, so we can accomplish our
is
goals
not
from a
Tech
healed and
Tuesday.
open place together. So, let's get started.
Go ahead, give us a little taste of motivation real quick. You got 6 minutes, girl.
Face the fear that comes with being consistent. When our dreams require us to show up in new ways, it scares us. Not because our dreams are scary, but mostly for me because I wanted to do everything right. The uncertainty of this future that I wanted, that I could potentially be present in, but not be good at,
Right.
was a bruise to my ego. And in order to keep myself safe, I would just freeze. To be honest, a lot of us sabotage things like a child.
Yeah.
We have these things that we want and that are in our hands and in our power, and because it's new, and because we haven't really invested the time enough to understand its function or its systems or ways that it can be useful for us or ways that we can master it, the first sign of a mistake or a misunderstanding,
Ready to
we throw it to the ground in frustration, and we drop things and we never pick them up again. When you have a mission to do something,
Yes, ma'am.
some of the missions in pursuit to the things that you want will not be 100% successful, but it doesn't mean you are not worthy of having those things,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
is why strategy is very important. What changed the way I showed up from maybe posting once every couple of months, expecting the same outcome that posting once a week brought me,
Right.
I had to change my emotional entitlement to the work that I was too afraid
Right.
to face. Yes, it takes more energy to do what I'm doing now than what I did before, but that is the sacrifice that I decided I wanted when I claimed that this thing was something that I also wanted
Yes,
to.
ma'am. That's my girl.
I
Hey,
had
look.
to realize and I had to come in agreement with myself that I was worthy of that sacrifice. Enough to have an expectation of something great within myself to act on that greatness 99.8% of the time, even though my emotions were not 99.8% all in. I think when you actually deem yourself worthy enough to have an expectation of something great within yourself, that's when consistency becomes less of an issue. And I also think about it like this. Our schools required a certain level of greatness from us. Our caregivers were held to a standard in order to keep us in that household. The jobs that we have require a level
ma'am.
of skill and competence from us. You also deserve a piece of that
That's
too.
it. Yeah.
Because you want to change your outcome. Repeat after me.
Yes, ma'am. Hold on. Listen. We gonna watch this. Continue watching this next week until we finish this on Wednesday. This is gonna be our motivation for the next Wednesday too as well. I just wanted to stop and say that. Now let go.
I preserve 100% of my excellence for me and my endeavors. I am worthy of my own 100%.
I am worthy
And
of
tap
my
your
own
chest
100%.
and let it be done. Let's double back to the ego. Sometimes we
All right. That was a good solid. We're going to round it up to 4 minutes. It was 4:47. We're going to round it up to 5 minutes. That was beautiful. Consistency. And that's funny that she's talking consistency. Well, it's ironic she's talking consistency because we gonna come back and watch that and stay consistent on that for next week's Your Way Wednesday for my women out there to be motivated. So now we harnessing awareness today, y'all. Let me go back to the top of YouTube. We harnessing awareness. Now, the reason I chose that as the wording for what we doing today is because I need some horsepower. I need some horsepower, and only way I know how to get it is to be focused on something. You know, when you focused on something, you be, boy, I locked in. Wow, boy, can't take me on my, you know what I'm saying, on my pivot now. I'm just gonna pivot around and keep going. So harnessing that energy is what I need. That's what I need right now, and I'm trying to find my way. So we harnessing awareness today, y'all. All right. So, well, I want to type something in. Let's get some quotes real quick to get us a little sparked up. You know what I'm saying? Wise quotes towards what we doing, because we want to stay. I just want to stay focused. I got a lot of different tasks, and it seems like the distraction is taking precedent even when I'm focused. It seems like, hey, well, you need rest once you're focused, but you need a little rest. Take that rest. And I'm trying to kick that rest, and only even the rest time is focused rest time. You see what I'm saying? Nah, we scheduled this rest time. Like when you cut your phone off because they keep texting you back at work, and they know you told them on vacation. I'm on vacation. Bye. Don't you text me no more. All right, now let's get some of these quotes in here. Should we go with the extreme, or should we go with the... Yeah, we're going to go with the simple. We probably heard some of these, too.
The bamboo that bends is
we heard
stronger
these.
than the oak that resists.
Let's get some different ones real quick. 100 Albert Einstein's quotes that will make you smarter. All right, well, that's fair enough.
How long before I see results with Tai Chi?
Day 3, you'll feel your energy. Day 7, your eyes will change. Day 20.
Genius is 1% talent and 99% hard work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things.
We only, we only 2 quotes in. We only 2 quotes in. He talking about the same thing I'm talking about. You need to tie that thing down. And guess what? When you wake up, you're going to do it. When you go to sleep, you're going to be thinking about it. When you wake back up, you're going to do it. When you go back to sleep, you're going to be thinking about it. So it's never going to be a time where you unfocused. Let me get back in this. I'm sorry.
Only those who attempt the absurd can achieve the impossible.
Yes, sir. We want agree.
One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science, measured against reality, is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing we have. The more I learn, the more I realize how much I don't know. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed.
Yeah. That one hit.
You cannot simultaneously prevent and prepare for war.
Oh. Whew. Whew.
Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. If at first the idea is not absurd, then there is no hope for it.
When I pause like that, that's because those ones is like, get in there and like, imagine you was at a factory, and every day you're doing the same thing, and then y'all get a brand new product come down the line, and everybody got to take their time and got to figure out how to do it, and those are what these quotes do to me. They like, yo, hold on, wait, send that, run that back, we didn't do it right, you got to make sure the spacing is good, you got to make sure it's boxed, that tape is off just a little bit. Like, yo, you know, you used to going one way, and then it just get that shape.
Life is a preparation for the future, and the best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none.
And I tell y'all,
When I
these quotes,
examine myself and my methods of thought, I come to the conclusion that the gift of fantasy has meant more to me than any talent for abstract, positive thinking.
I told y'all, see, we gonna stop right there, and we gonna bookmark. We gotta bookmark that, because that's magnificent right there. See, I told y'all that the quotes are a gift to us. They little fragments of what I feel, where we come from. It's a infinite place of knowing. It's a infinite place of capability, possibility. And so these quotes are like little drops of rain coming out of there. Like, boom, yeah, let me get your soul. I'm gonna get your soul moving in there. Get up out that. You want to catch a bucket of this? You want to drink some of this? Because it's like soul food to me. All right, it hit a little something different. So now, I want to be able to harness what we feeling right now. What we feeling right now is we feeling a common sense of, or if you've been watching for the last couple minutes, you might be feeling a common sense of just, it's time to do something. I gotta do something. It's time to do something. And that thing that we're gonna do is reach/achieve our goal. What is our goal? You fill in the blank right there. But we're gonna harness that energy to do it. And I feel possibility right now. Like the energy, to describe that energy right now, it feels like possibility. Now, what I'm going to attach to that possibility is a few things that I need to do. Now, a few things I need to do. I just calculated, I'm on page 93 of my new book that I'm reading. And I got several books. 93 of the book that I'm reading. There are 200. I flipped to the back. I was like, man, I'm going to see. Let me calculate this. I flipped to the back. There are 293 to 95 pages of this book. That's roughly 200 pages left for me to read. I did the calculation, reading 5 pages every 20 minutes. Now, don't you judge me. You type slow. I said it. You type slow. So don't you judge me for reading slow. So 5 pages every 20 minutes. That would, to read for 60 minutes, I could read 3 of them. So that's 15 pages an hour, right? 15 pages an hour. You scale that up. How many pages is the brother gonna read? How long it gonna take the brother to read 200 pages? All right. You go. Let me do the math. I got to do it. Okay. So 215 pages an hour. 200 divided by 60 is 3. Hold on, wait. At 3 hours? I think I'm doing this all wrong. Y'all bear with me. 15 pages in an hour. That's 3 of them. Oh, so I got to times that. Oh, okay. That's pretty good, though. That's pretty good. I got to times that by 15. I think I did that all wrong. Either way, I came up with something like, it's going to take me 800. 800 broke down into 60, about 10. So it's going to take me however many whatevers to read this book. Now, how long, not to take y'all too far down that angle. My point in saying all of that is, how long will I be what we would call the energy again? How long will I be motivated to do so? Not how much free time I got, or how much in between time I got, how long will I be motivated to do so? Because maybe I could crank that up to 10 pages in 20 minutes if I'm motivated to do so. I'm really eager to get the information. Let's say it's Friday night, I feel alright, party on the west side. You ready for that, ain't you? You see what I'm saying? You ready. That motivate you motivated, you energized for that. That same energy is what I want to use to accomplish some goals of mine, such as reading the book. All right. So harnessing this awareness of that, what does that look like? Now I said it at the opening. Your what is it? Your energy flows where your focus goes. So harnessing that awareness of the present moment, of the present time, could give us some sort of access. We're gonna look into watch a video on it. Could give us some sort of access or backdoor pass to a secret energy flow that could keep you up all night. You have been up all night. Now, I ain't saying nothing after that until I get the answer that I feel I'm looking for from myself. Now, look, check it. You ever been up all night thinking, worrying, planning, stressing, building, creating, working? What energy gave you the power to do that? You ever been doing something for so long that just you just like, yo, I love this and I don't want to stop, to where you just be like, sleep, wake up and start doing it some more? Now, what energy is that? Is what we're gonna see. The energy of focus. Watch, they say something like, your focused mind is what you need to get you through the day. All right, watch. Look, his face looked like he about to say something like that. Watch, look. Focused mind.
Who has done something in your life that once seemed difficult or impossible, and now it's part of your life? Who's got something in your life in this area? Say I.
And my man, there
How
you
did you
go.
do it? You created it 3 ways. Number 1, you decided there's something you wanted so bad that you unleashed all your desire. You became obsessed with it.
Yes,
if it was
sir.
a business or a car or a relationship or a transformation in your body, if there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you didn't just envision it, you brought so much emotion to it that now it's in your life. It was once a dream, it was once a goal, and now it's in your life. You may take it for granted now, hopefully not, but it was once just a vision. It may have seemed impossible at one time. So how did you do it? You started with a concrete vision of what you wanted, and you focused on it continuously, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Wherever focus goes, energy
And I say
flows.
that's
Who
my
has done something
man.
in your life
Hey,
that once seemed
listen. I'm gonna tell y'all something about expansion pack. A bit that you know it, because I had said it on. I don't be picking these videos beforehand. I just be going through and typing stuff in. And he's saying the same thing I'm saying, which means that great minds, which I consider mine to be great, is moving together, baby. We're moving together, baby. Yeah. All right, so let me sign in, because I need to be adding these to the playlist and doing all this type of stuff, and they ain't allowing me to be the best I can be. Let's get the filter on real quick. Well, no. This who we need to listen to right here. And they might hit me with the
Scribe
the
is how
copyright
4
later
million
on, but
people
who
turn
cares?
processes into
Well,
step-by-step
I don't-
guides. The
I don't mind
hardest
it.
part of any job, I don't care.
Think about the emotions that are associated with stress. It's anger, it's hatred, it's violence, it's hostility, it's judgment, it's competition.
Hold on, this might not be what we need. Hold on. I know what we're gonna go for. Neuroscience of focus. This is what I want y'all to look at. Here we go. How did I know? We're gonna skip forward a little bit, but
take a moment and observe
wherever we go
everything
is
that's
gonna be
going on
great.
around you. The sounds, the smells.
Well, never mind. It's good.
The
From the beginning. Let's go.
Take a moment and observe everything that's going on around you. The sounds, the smells, the sensations on your feet. Now, focus your attention back on this video. Those sensations didn't disappear as much as they were quieted by the brain in order to accomplish a specific task. In this case, focusing on this video. Focus, from a neuroscience perspective, is the brain's ability to selectively concentrate on one or more aspects of the environment while ignoring other aspects. To see how this works, I want to focus our attention to this specific region of the brain called the prefrontal cortex, or PFC. Now, the PFC in humans is the largest among mammals and is responsible for a wide
We had this class
range
once
of
before. We're gonna
cognitive
do it again, though.
functions, including morality, empathy, decision-making, and importantly to our discussion today, managing distractions. But if we look at a very specific region of the PFC, right here, this is called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, or DLPFC, and yes, that is a mouthful, but this is the last area of the brain to fully mature. It takes until about age 25 for this to come fully online,
Yes, sir. Okay.
and it's involved in a wide range of executive functions. Executive functions make it possible to mentally play with ideas. So this is like taking time to think before acting, resisting temptations, meeting unanticipated challenges, and staying focused. The DLPFC, as far as we can tell, plays the largest role within the overall prefrontal cortex in managing relevant signals and suppressing the sensory noise, right? If you think about the sheer amount of information coming into the brain, you're gonna need to silence a good amount of that, and it looks like the DLPFC plays the largest role in that, but it's not an exclusive role. Like if we rotate this over, this right here is called the anterior cingulate cortex. It does a very similar job to the DLPFC in regards to managing distractions. It's just that it doesn't do it quite as effectively and in the same way. To put this as simply as possible, imagine yourself in a busy classroom. You're part of a group of students working to solve a problem, but your task is to find a specific piece of information buried inside a textbook. Your ability to quiet the environment around you and all those distractions and focus your attention on the words directly in front of you is partly a product of your dorsolateral prefrontal cortex inhibiting those non-relevant signals. Now, this is a quick aside, but I find it super interesting. The DLPFC has also been shown to be involved in ruminating for depressed individuals. So ruminating is where you're just like thinking about something over and over, just running through your mind. And so what this is showing us is that the DLPFC can be so good at quieting the external environment that it can also be, I guess, I don't know if that quite classifies as pathological. I think ruminating can be good in certain situations, but I think we all understand in a depressed state, ruminating is probably not the best thing to be doing, especially if it's just nonstop. But it just goes to show that, I mean, it's that good, right? It's just the entire world just starts to fade away and you're just focused on that one thing, just running it over and over in your mind. But another reason why the DLPFC's ability to quiet the external environment is so interesting to me is something that I alluded to earlier. And that was the brain, or specifically the DLPFC, doesn't fully mature until you're 25 years old.
Yeah.
So you can't help but wonder, or at least I can't, you know, what experiences in our youth or the role models that we're surrounding ourselves with, such as parents and teachers, how all of that impacts our ability to focus on those executive functions. Before we get deeper into the neuroscience of focus, I want to take a quick moment and thank the sponsor of today's video.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia.
So
it hit me hard. It did.
Imagine sitting at, let me see, I'm in my 30s. You see what I'm saying? Sitting in at 30, 6 years old and saying, hey, my brain just started fully being mature at 10 years ago. Now, that to me okay, so as I'm going along, that to me, it's plugging all of my gaps. Like, oh, that's why, that's why I felt like that. That's why I did that. That's why I ain't know that. Or was looking at that like that. That plugs all of my gaps right there. I'm like, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with it. It may hit others a bit harder than that. But for me, having that bit of science behind, where my energy, where my focus is coming from, like not just some, I don't know how to explain it other than this, a vague understanding of, oh, well, you think, and then you just got to stop yourself. No, I got some actual, we were looking at a brain right there. You see what I'm saying? And they pointed to the area. Well, it's this area. Okay, well, maybe if I need to focus, I'll start rubbing this part of my head, and that'll help me to get a little bit more focused. Or, might relieve my focus depending on the way I'm thinking. That bit of information changes the way that I'm able to operate. All right, so now we got the neuroscience of focus. Let me see. Let's look at another video of the flow state. Teach y'all, if y'all didn't know about accessing that flow state, let's just get that reactivated in our mind.
Science shows there's a simple way to enter a flow state, and it's called the 4% rule.
If you want to grow in any field, you want to be able to enter flow states where you are so engrossed in your work that you are growing, you're getting better, and you are excited about the work you do. And there's a simple rule for this. Always ensure that the projects you're working on are roughly 4% harder than what you think you're capable of. The 4% harder rule puts you in just the right zone where the project is challenging enough, where you can develop flow and you can grow. The simple way to do this is a timer. For example, if you're a writer, if you know that a particular blog post or article might take you 8 hours, seek to do it in 7 hours and 45 minutes. It gives you the right amount of challenge that puts you in flow, but causes you to grow, because you have to think of new processes, new ways to get your output done in a tighter time. As a result, you get better and better, faster.
Science shows that.
Yeah, that's good, because I actually have noticed I've been able to look back and notice how I've grown throughout anything that I've been doing recently. Like, literally be like, oh man, yesterday I wasn't as good at this. Today, yeah, I'm better. Like, I can move left a little bit better. And I play the game, so for me, that is a big thing. All right, let's see. Is this Ted? If this is Ted, we can't go to Ted. Yeah, we can't go to Ted. All right, let's go to this one here. Big think.
I've been using BetterHelp since 2020 when I needed to find a therapist but couldn't leave my house. And in the process,
We might can.
All right, are my feet in or out of this shot? Well, then you're gonna have to deal with the ridiculous flip-flops. Sorry about that. When I talk about peak performance, I often define peak performance as getting our biology to work for us rather than against us. What I'm really talking about are the systems underneath what we call motivation, learning, creativity, and flow. And flow is an optimal state of consciousness where we feel our best and we perform our best. More specifically, it refers to any of those moments of rapt attention and total absorption. You're so focused on the task at hand, so focused on what you're doing, everything else just seems to disappear. Action and awareness are going to start to emerge. Your sense of self, sense of self-consciousness, the voice in your head, your inner critic are all going to diminish. Time is going to dilate, which is a fancy way of saying it's going to pass strangely. One of the reasons learning goes up so much in flow is because it's this huge cocktail dump of 5 or 6 of the most important feel-good neurochemicals the brain can produce, and we tend to remember things that happen in flow states. In fact, for most people, If you're looking at positive memories, right, things you remember and that are really strong, that are really locked into memory, chances are they're things that took place in a flow state. There has been a lot of work because of this very mechanism in using flow to override and rewrite PTSD. Army tested a combination of talk therapy and surfing. Surfing is an experience that's packed with flow triggers. 5 weeks of surfing twice a week and regular talk therapy sessions after the surf sessions was enough to significantly reduce or completely remove symptoms of PTSD and lower people's need for medication or get them off medication completely. PTSD is basically a very strong memory that's been written and everything sort of flows back to it, and flow seems to be able to override that memory because it's such a potent neurochemical dump. We know that flow has been very useful in the treatment of addiction. There are, for example, a number of rehab centers, usually aimed at teenagers, where to get kids off drugs, they're taking them into the mountains and giving them outdoor high flow experiences. Knowing what we now know about the way that experiences can produce different neurochemicals, it doesn't seem too odd that sometime in the future we're going to start to see doctors or psychologists prescribing experiences.
Wow. Now that's epic. Now listen, I want you to take this prescription down there to the Bahamas, and now you can't be down there for no less than 3 days. You gotta be down there for at least 3 days. You need to stay in at least a 3-star hotel with everything included. You gotta fly first class. I'm writing the prescription now, Bob. You need it. You need it.
I always tell my friends when their relationships end, the easiest way to override heartbreak is to go skydiving. The problem with heartbreak or grief or all those things is basically every memory you have goes back to the person you just lost, right? That's why, you walk through your house and everything reminds you of the one that got away. You actually have to override the memory. You have to have an experience that's more powerful than that. Skydiving and the kind of immediate deep flow state it tends to produce in most people will tend to override that. I'm not saying we're gonna go to the doctor for heartbreak and they're gonna prescribe skydiving, but it would work. And there might come a time in the future where we actually think that way.
Get smarter, faster with videos from the world's biggest thinkers.
Hey, listen.
And to learn even more.
This is what we do here on Expansion Pack, if you didn't know. We just look at and explore the possibilities that are out there for us. Now, the flow state, like they mentioned, because I don't want to just keep putting video after video on you. The flow state is what you get into at any given time, where you've went from doing something for a few seconds to minutes to hours to so on and so forth. So, dang, that's a crazy picture. All right, so let's say you pick up your phone and you playing a game on your phone. You in a flow state. Let's say you pick up your phone and you scrolling. You're in a flow state. Let's say you're writing a letter and you really need to get that message across to your friend out there. You're in the flow state. Let's say you paying bills and you logging into accounts, making sure you pay the right one and didn't pay it twice. You in a flow state. Let's say you driving cross country and hey, the music jamming, pumping, you just got you something from the something to eat, you rolling, you ready to go, boy. You in a flow state. And in that state, handling the task at hand is just like it sounds. It's flowing. You're flowing. And also, when you're not in that state, that same task looks completely different. If you're not in that state, you might not even want to. Hence the example that I use with reading the book. And I'm noticing even now as I'm sitting here, my mind is changing. Well, my body is pulling me one way, but I want to use the energy to do something completely different. and I don't want to use that energy to do what my body is pulling me to do. So I just recently ran into the discovery that my tablet won't power on. All right. So now that the tablet won't power on, I want to use all of my focus and flow and energy in my flow state to fix it. Literally, I'm like, yo, we gotta fix this. And I don't care what you were doing before this. We gotta fix this. It's not doing anything. It's not coming on. It's not charging. This is not good. We need to fix this. That's what I'm thinking. And because I'm thinking that, all my energy is going towards that. I can't do the show. I can't do nothing. I gotta figure out why the tablet won't power on. Now, I had plans for today. I had plans to spend. That's the reason why harnessing awareness is the topic for today. I had plans for today to take all of this energy that is already in here from my focus and my flow state to accomplish some goals that I had lined up. This is a great example right now, because instead of that, I'm faced with the challenge of fixing my tablet. Now, if I use that energy to fix this tablet, that is gonna spend time. It's gonna spend my time, which is a very, very limited currency, folks. Very limited. The energy will come back and be replenished, but the time will not. So if I spend this time and this energy fixing the tablet, then the goal of, let's say, reading my 5 pages in 20 minutes or upgrading to 6 pages in 20 minutes cannot happen. If you have a situation right now where you spending some energy, forget the time, when you taking some energy that will be replenished and spending it with spending some time in a place that, you know, you might want to think twice. I'm faced with the dilemma right now because this is brand new. This is a brand new development right here. I didn't know. I had, as a matter of fact, I sat the tablet down and was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna use it later. And then I put it in front of me because I missed chat. Hold on, I'm probably missing chat right now. I had missed chat the last episode, and so I was like, all right, I'm not gonna miss. See, I'm missing chat. I'm like, I'm missing chat last episode, so I don't want to miss chat. So I'm gonna put the tablet right here in front of me, and I'm gonna turn the tablet on. I'm gonna have chat right here, so I ain't gotta look at the screen. Just so happened, I'm like, why I look back, I'm 20 minutes in, I look back and the tablet ain't even on, so let me plug it up. You probably saw me on here doing it. Let me plug it up. Plug it up. New development. Now I want to focus, use all my flow state to fix this mug. I want to go down to Verizon. I want to do everything. But I had plans. So, yeah, that's a perfect example of the energy that we're going to use to accomplish our goals. You cannot. Maybe as a young man, and I'm going to read the chat, maybe as a young man or as a young woman, you could have just naively spent that energy and spent that time. But now I cannot. So thank you for that awareness, future Dan, which is now past Dan, which was current Dan, but is now actually future Dan. Thank you for dropping that into my head or into my mind or whatever. Hey, what's happening, my peoples? Anita67. This is so profound. I agree. Think how you feel when you experience things. Exactly. You know, right now, I'm about to do this to you personally because you ain't here. Right now, when you was in the Bahamas, or not Bahamas, when you was in Jamaica, you was like, ooh, man, I feel, I ain't got to worry about, you know? And just having me bring that up just now is therapy. Like, that's therapy in itself. Just being back into that state of mind that you were in when you was there, and it was only a small fraction of time. You see what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm gonna use? I'm gonna take my own advice. I'm gonna use it to solve this issue that I have in front of me now. I have plans. I have things that I need to do, and so I can't just jump out and go and solve this issue. So what I will do instead is think of a time when it will be solved and handled. Give me a second. Got it. All right, now we back. But also, the only reason it's so funny is because my my other computer won't charge as well, so I'm thinking it might have been a bigger issue than just, you know what I'm saying, what I'm thinking that the issue might have been. All right, so now, hey, we got about 15 minutes left on this episode today. We talked about the flow state. We actually used part of the flow state to get us to where we at right now, and that was the reason why I kicked it off with the quotes. All right, the quotes was meant to trigger us into that mode of saying, hey, we're gonna do something great. We might not know what it is right now, but we got the reserve of the energy or the motivation to do it. Then I broke down the anatomy of what it is that we doing, just to give you, all right, these are the inner workings. Whereas you see your TV screen come on right now, you see it, boom, boom, boom. But behind the scenes, the electrons flowed through the wires in from Duke Energy or wherever it is you at into the TV, and it powered it on. So the inner workings of the flow state is the anatomy of it, where it's working, where it's coming from, how it's working. Then, you know, offer some pleasantries for you with just the simple thought of your experiences triggering that, not the other way around, not you thinking of having the experience and then going and doing it and it's being triggered. No, you walk straight into the experience and it's triggering the flow state. Just like what yesterday or whenever we had the motivation where he say he get up, the Navy SEAL get up, he make his bed, they make the bed every day, and that small act triggers you into doing another small act and another, and even if you don't feel like you ever did anything during the day, you come back in your bed, come back to a made bed. Sorry to stutter on that last bit, but you come back to a made bed. So now let's do a little bit of groundwork, and let's put this energy that we built up for the day into something useful. Okay, now as a matter of fact, we're gonna listen to my man's tell us about what he know about, and this will help y'all even more. Will help us even more. All right, I think this one will do us better.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking.
Truth was that you're greater than you think, more powerful. And so, like, that's not the life you want. What you want, abundant people want to be free.
Yes.
That's what they really want.
It brings back some of the feelings. Yes,
it, right?
It instantly brings back some of the feelings. Think how you feel. Oh yeah, it instantly. As soon as you think about that time, any time that
if your model of
you want to go to,
is that you have so much more than you need. Abundance is what they really want. Free to do it, right? And really, if your model of abundance is that you have so much more than you need, that you would give it away, that would be an abundant person, yes or no?
Yes.
And so your experience of abundance in the experiment called life can be way more than being an angry, abundant person. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So then what? So you develop that skill of abundance, but there are certain skills and habits and choices and character that you created. You take that with you. You take that with you to the next dream. If you're not being defined by a vision of your future, then you're left to the memories of your past, and you'll be predictable in your life. And wow, it's so much easier to forget that vision than to remember. That means you got to make time to remember it.
Right.
You got to make time to decide who you're no longer going to be, and you got to make time for who you are going to be. And so the experiment can continue, and you should be facing adversity.
You should be.
You should be facing adversity in the midst of change.
It shouldn't be easy.
Should be earned. Should be earned.
Should be earned.
Yes, sir.
Because that means you put your time in. And that means that this is how greatness is created, when you show up to create when you don't feel like it. When you sit with yourself and not allow your mind to go to the past and all the problems and all the things, and instruct your mind to go to that vision of the future, that's a victory.
Come on.
That is the overcoming process. We discovered that when you're sitting with yourself and you go past the point where you would normally stop because of your disbelief, you go past that point, that's when the brain changes the most. That's when you're stepping into the unknown.
What does that moment look like for people? Like, what is that?
That moment looks like I want to quit. That moment looks like I want to give up. That's the end of their emotional belief. But if you show up to be a creator in spite of those voices, in spite of the mismanagement of your attention and energy and not having enough time, or feeling, something happened in your day and it caused you to not want to create, the days that you show up anyway, and you remember that's the belief in your future, and that's your passion, you will earn that future. And that is the overcoming process that allows you to become anything, abundant or healthy or whatever it is that people want.
What will ensure that we don't earn our future dreams?
I think people get in the habit of no longer believing in themselves. I think it's a habit. Because they listen to those voices, they sit and they can't settle their emotions down, and they get up from their inner work believing less in their future instead of more in their future. And the people who actually sit and say, I'm not getting up until I remember my future, and I'm going to become that very person today. The person who does that, they get up that way, they believe in their future more. So they have to overcome some aspect of themselves in order to do that, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. But to the materialist who's waiting for their life to change to feel joy, you're missing out on a lot of life. Why wouldn't you want to teach your body emotionally what joy feels like so that you can feel that way? Nobody's going to make you feel that way. Oh, you should make you happy. Imagine that. And I swear to you, people in your life will wonder what medication you're on.
Yeah, he said that like, how are they? I don't know, man. They're just doing it. All right, y'all. So this has been a great episode of Your Way Wednesday. You see it down there at the bottom of the screen. We just talk about harnessing awareness. You use that awareness of what you want to do, you flow, and you get it done. You feel what I'm saying? All right, so I ain't gonna hold y'all up for much longer. I'm glad y'all came to kick it with me, hang out with me on Expansion Pack today. As you may have just found out, I gotta fix my tablet. I'm figuring out how to go about it. I had plans for today. Keep trying to map it out in my mind, but I'll let y'all know what I do later at a later date. So with that being said, this is DGTA TV. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow, Healthy Mental Thursday. Peace.
I'm not gonna do that no more. Here's something else for those
Yo, so that one right there, that one hit home. I read that, and I've been kind of mulling that over in my own mind recently because I read in a book, dang, why can't I remember the name of the book right now? I'm looking at the cover, but in the book, asking someone else how they felt, well, not necessarily how they felt, how they would handle a situation, cost. It cost. It may cost you time. It may cost you energy. It may cost you money, but it cost. And that cost can be completely eradicated just by thinking for yourself. So, yeah, I that one hit home. I had been kind of thinking about that myself, just going on my own inner, and I got some videos about it later that I'll post. But that's our motivation for today. I'm glad y'all was able to share in that with me. So today's topic, we are on Mindful Monday, which I don't have it on the screen. Let me see. Let me get it up there. I like that. Have it on the screen so y'all know. All right, so today we are talking about breaking the mold, y'all. Now, how does this tie into being mindful? Well, basically you heard from the video. The dream is given to you. All right. Once you got here, born here, started here, whatever you want to call it, you can cast that mold out. It's gone. All right. You will never be born or made again. So there's no more need for that mold. All right. It's gone. If you don't know what a mold is, figure it out. All right. So, going forward, what do you do from there? You've already, you've been here. All of us, by time we kind of wake up and realize where we're at as far as reality goes in life, we probably already learned how to tie shoes, walked, talked, went to school, eaten, drinking, all of these things. So, and then you kind of wake up like, oh my God, where is this place that I've been this whole time? So when you're looking at doing new things, looking at taking that awareness basically and doing new things, sports, writing, creativity, just in general, you put yourself back into a box. And being mindful about that is saying, hey, I'm going to need to do things in order to grow. Imagine, all right, for example, and this is what I mean. Imagine, for example, you put a seed in some dirt, well, in the plant, in a pot, in some dirt, in a box. Just let that marinate on you real quick. You take a seed and put it in a pot with some dirt